Good afternoon, everyone. It is Thursday, August 7th, 2025. We have a gap in crap on our hands, but we finished off of the lows. What's next for the markets tomorrow? We'll take a look at spiders and Qs. As always, first, if you give the video a thumbs up, helps out the channel, makes me happy, makes you guys happy as we keep putting out this content for you guys. And makes the bots happy because they love commenting on it too. But also come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts, analysis, and live day trading. Let's get into it here today. So the markets today, with a little bit of a gap in crap. And ask members, we talked about this morning. First thing I said, what's going to be, and I actually said it yesterday on the close too, but we were looking for like a fade the open type deal. So whichever way we gapped, we were looking for mean reversion. I thought the only difference was I thought we would have, so we were obviously gapping up, but I thought we would have like kind of held the gains, maybe even tried to make a new high, not a new all-time high, but like a new intraday high. We got pretty close to 6,400. I mean, we're only like 10 points away, so I figured like, okay, do that. Then in the afternoon, we kind of come back down, but it was pretty much just a straight up like classic gap and crap. However, we came off the lows, and basically at the end of the day it's a flat close. Right, 5 points on SPX is nothing. Qs are up a third of a percent, and a lot of time you can tell when these things are just computer programs, right? Like, look at this. This is just, so up move. The first 30 minutes there was organic, and then the rest of it is just a sell program. I mean, and then you finally get your relief at the end of the day. And they really saved it too. When I say save it, I mean like we go to a 1 minute chart here. Not so much the Qs, but like the spiders. Look at this. I mean, it was not good up until the last 2-3 minutes here. Then we got a really good pump. In fact, 632 is pretty like negative delta. So it looked like that was going to hold, and then they just rammed it up through at the end of the day to close us flat. They also saved the Russell. We'll talk about that too. Again, looking like it was going to do an engulfing at one point during the day, but that came off the lows by the end of the day, finished down just fractionally. RTY, by the way, still has, just kind of like a bull inside bar here on the daily as well. So nothing broken, and the same thing with the YM. So similar pattern there. Obviously, we talked about Apple yesterday. Take a look at the trend line break. Beautiful breakout. And again, this is long overdue here, right? So, pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. That's what we always say. How many times are you going to sell calls at 215, right? At some point, you're going to owe them those shares. And, they got wrecked on that. And, closing at 220. There is still like quite a bit of dealer resistance here. We've talked about that extensively. But, if we can get through that, get through the 200 MA, obviously we can see higher prices from there. We'll show you here for tomorrow. But what impresses me about Apple here is, yes, it's still got the big gamma wall here, call wall there, and you got the 200 MA. But what impressed me today was you made the low on the first candle of the day, and then you made higher highs and higher lows all day, while the whole market was selling, right? Even though tech held up and like, Nvidia held up, Google held up, Tesla was really nice today. Amazon, we actually took a gain on AMZU. We talked about the 215 level late last week, and we gapped right into that and took a nice little gain there. But that held up nicely today. But IGV was selling off pretty good at one point. So a lot of weakness out there, but Apple was strong. So it's a good sign to see that. And Tesla here, interesting as well. Look at that wedge there on the daily. So we have some stocks here that are, they have some nice patterns, they have some nice moves set up, but overall, tomorrow it's a little bit trickier. If you asked me about like right before the close, right before the last 4 or 5 minutes, I probably would have said we may need to go test lower prices here. 6,300 is not that far away. Excuse me. And 6280 is another area that is of interest to me on SPX on the cash. But they did kind of save it. So a flat close is kind of like a little bit more neutral here. Overall, though, nonetheless, there's room for higher lows. So even if we do go down, we could still pivot here and put in another thrust to the highs here. which I'm kind of leaning towards that being the case here. There's still positive flows, positive dealer gamma here. I know everybody wants to be on the short side right now, and everybody. I mean, at the lows of the day today, I mean, my timeline was like looking like it was like a bear Super Bowl out there. And speaking of, just sentiment wise, AAI right back 43%. Look how fast. Look how quickly. And they were declining each week up until then. Then boom, just you get that one engulfing, and that's why we talked about this, right? These engulfing candles, like yes, they're valid, but a lot of the time people short into the hole, and that's how you get those rebounds. And sometimes again, distribution it takes time. It's not all at once. So just be aware of that. But yeah, as long as we're above 6,300, really on a closing basis, there's really no reason to get concerned here, at least from a face value standpoint. So, and again, even if we start correcting, I mean, look how many, there's so much space here, but that's for another story, another time. QQQ here up $1.92. Came off the highs. Russell, Dow, we talked about both fractionally lower on the day. SMH, here's another reason why the market, to me, was fine today. It was just kind of backing and filling and just correcting that squeeze yesterday. But, SMH up 1.57. We had a nice runner trade on AMD. We took some gains on this morning. That actually went higher than I thought it was going to, but nice move for semis. Cloud was weak, though. Cloud was definitely weak, down 2% on IGV. Held the 50 MA, but yeah, that was an engulfing candle. It came off the lows, but that wasn't engulfing. Trade desk also getting wrecked after hours here. So down at 63. It's all the way down here. Transports, again, off the lows, but not by much. So it looks like that saved an engulfing there, but barely. 2-year held up all right. So no changes there. ZN held up, and then ZB did as well. The auction wasn't that good, but price action was fine here, and TLT is holding up right now. It has firmed up. XHB up 1.2, higher high here. 110, 111 is still a big level on here. IYR a little weak here. I did dump my play, and we'll see if that ends up. I had some leverage on it, so I didn't want to just get too greedy with it. It's just kind of, this could go either way here. It has room for a higher low, yes. It does kind of have that similar look that I was just talking about with like the YM and the RTY, but it's just a little, I had like 1% of my buying power in it anyway, so I don't really care if it goes up that much, but it just, it's a little 50-50 here. So I still think we're getting into the 9th inning anyway, but so that also factored in. But yeah, it held up 37 cents on the IYR. XLF was a little weak today, so just keep note of that, down 58 cents. KRE was weak as well. So banks, that weakness continues. That's definitely a warning. Broker dealers here were flat. Oil down again, but it held yesterday's low, which again says to me, if we're doing a peace deal here, this should be way lower. But the market does seem to be sniffing out a lot of deals and things of that nature. XLE, again, weaker. So losing that wedge, don't like to see that. XOP and OIH on the weaker side as well. Dollar was soft early, but came back a little bit by the end of the day. Yeah, it looks like it rallied back up a little bit. Again, still holding 98, needs to hold that, and or at least if it loses it needs to reclaim. You do have a possibility for higher lows here anyway, but I prefer to see it stay above 98 if I'm a bull. Gold continues to be strong here, and I gotta fix this because I think we're on a new contract now. Yeah, I got this like right up here. I think I had it like that, but yeah, nonetheless. Pretty good rally. And look at that GLD at the end of the day. So we mentioned this, I think, yesterday or the day before, but GDX, that's a good sign for the metals. Silver was strong too, reclaiming the 20 MA. Trend is back up on all time frames now. SIL new highs, SILJ new highs, right? GDXJ new highs, not bearish. Platinum a little bit weaker, and it's still in an uptrend, but a little bit weaker. I don't really have a good read on it. I would just say trend is up here. Palladium bouncing off to 50 MA. Again, trend is still up. And support's holding for now. I don't really have much of a bias. And copper still has not stopped up my runner. So we'll just leave it at that. I've been debating like for the last 3 days, should I just dump it? But I don't know why I'm holding it. I'm just, because I just want it to, I need it to stop out. I just want it to stop out so bad. But if it doesn't, then it doesn't. I'm like basically I'm daring it to stop out. So anyway, we'll see. Bitcoin was really strong too, and again, this leads me to believe that this was strong all day too. So this is why I was not really that concerned about this little dip here. Although I mean, I'm telling you, when I say there was a bear Super Bowl, I mean the bears were like this, like thinking that they were like Gordon Gekko, on my timeline anyway. But but Bitcoin, yeah, strong, and we got back above that level we talked about yesterday, 116. Why did I bring that up? Because there you go, like right inside of that zone, we lost that. Failure right there, failed again, back checked, and sold off. And then boom, up, little consolidation, acceptance. So nice move. Next spot will be, up at this trend line here. So nice price action there. ETH was up 5%. Doge here up 6%. So alts again continuing to act well. So yeah, right now I think tomorrow's a little bit tricky. I'm a little bit more neutral. Depends on how we gap. But I would have said continuation down if we didn't have that literally last like 2.5 minutes. Now it's a little bit more neutral. Again, I'm not really bearish here just yet, but maybe in the big pictures. But as far as tomorrow and the next week or so, I don't really think that we're anything's too terrible here just yet. So anyways, guys, I'll wrap it up here. Again, you guys take care. Don't forget to come find me on carnivoretrades.com. See you guys all tomorrow.